You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, August 17th show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell, flying solo. My co-host, Keelan Harvey, is not here today, so I'll be the one directing the show all on my own. We are your local mortgage experts. It's a great day to talk about money, and that's what the show is about, how to make money, how to save money so that you can have a better quality of life for you and your family. If you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but I'm here to answer any questions or connect you with the amazing guests that I have on the show today. You can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And in studio today, I have Celine Anelone Brozovich. And she is with Dances of Foods. And today we're going to be talking about health and productivity. Thank you so much, Celine, for joining us today.
Thank you, Tina.
Yeah, and a little bit about Celine. Leveraging more than 25 years in international experience as thought of operations leader in high technology and healthcare IT, and her lifelong passion for healthy living, Celine created Dances with Foods. Dances with Foods is a health and productivity business. She has made it her mission to turn the statement, employees are number one resource, into win-win reality for both the employer and the employees. She has a strong drive to transform her empathy for her customers into actionable and sustainable winning strategies for people transitioning to new lifestyle. Celine is People Change Management Certified, an accredited facilitator for Complete Health Improvement Program, a Diabetic Prevention Program, lifestyle coach for the CDC National, and a hold of Whole Foods plant-based certification from ecornell and nutrition studies, and is a member of ACLM. Well, definitely in your bio, Celine, you are certified to be talking about healthy food and healthy eating habits, and I'm so excited to have you here today. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Tina. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, thank you. And if you listen, I wish you could see her because she is just strikingly beautiful inside and out. But when you listen to her accent, it's going to be a fun conversation with her today. So Celine, let's go ahead and start out with, you are trained as an engineer. So how did you get in the health and wellness from engineer?
You mentioned accent. The accent comes from speaking French.
Do
I have your full attention now?
Yes, you definitely do.
Let's have a conversation. Yes. I have a Master's of Science in Electrical Engineering, and I have an MBA. I have worked 25 years in corporate America in high tech. My last job as a director for customer success for a Fortune 10 company, I worked long hours.
Yeah.
I love that job. I was working 60, 80, sometimes 100 hours a week.
Oh my gosh.
Obviously, I was not sleeping.
Yeah.
I was traveling. I was not eating good food. I was not taking care of myself.
Yeah.
The inevitable happened, a massive burnout. Massive burnout. The depression kicked in and took over. I spent 2016 between my bedroom and the kitchen. Couldn't function. It couldn't go forever that way.
Yeah.
I did my research and run into lifestyle medicine. And we'll talk about that later. I applied the principle. I lost weight. I regained my health. After that, I decided I was not going to stay silent. I am going to share this information with anybody who is willing to listen, especially people who are working in the corporate world, who are so in love with the job that they're forgetting about themselves. There is help for you, and you can do it on your own term.
Yeah, and so well said. It's so important. I mean, number one, you do have to have a balanced life. There's going to be times that you're grinding and you're spending more time in your career and building your business, but you can't sustain it if you're working 80, 100 hours a week. And some weeks you might do that, but then you've got to take another week to where you're going to slow it down. And so I love that you share that. And if you notice a trend with the guests that I have in studio that have really powerful messages and powerful businesses that they're doing and making a difference in the world, I always love finding out the why behind it, because the most successful and the most passionate in their space, there's a story behind why they're doing what they're doing. And now they're so excited to be able to share it with the world. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Celine. So I love that. So let's talk about, what is lifestyle medicine?
Lifestyle medicine. Wonderful. Thank you, Tina. This is a scientifically and evidence-based form of medicine. You have a lot of published research on lifestyle medicine. What is it? At the end of the day, your chronic diseases are based on what you put in your mouth in terms of foods, alcohol, drugs, smoking, and even gossip. What you put in your mind in terms of stress, lack of forgiveness, lack of some kind of spiritual practice, and what you do with your body in terms of exercise and even protecting your skin when you are out there. Managing all this properly with your primary care physician and embracing the best of alternative medicine, you can restore your health. The beauty of lifestyle medicine is the fact that we do not shy away from the primary doctor. You work with your primary doctor in partnership. And if yours, by the way, doesn't understand anything about it, send them to me. There is Dr. Kevin Clay at Providence who will be more than happy to help them. And there is also the ACLM, the American College for Lifestyle Medicine, who will train your primary physician to understand that for your chronic diseases, the answer are not always in the pills, but could be in your lifestyle.
Yeah, and when I sat down to talk with you and just really dived in deep of what you're doing and how you're helping, and I believe that a lot of people out there are taking so many things that they don't need to be taking, and they're taking alternative in medicine when they really, all they need to do is have a better lifestyle. And I love how you brought in gossip, because if you are gossiping, that means that you're in a bad space, because people that are not in a bad space, they're in a great space. They're not gossiping. They're not bringing that negativity into them. So yeah, it's your mind. It's everything you're thinking about. So obviously the food that you're bringing into your body is going to have a huge impact on your health. So let's talk about the food. What type of food are you talking about?
Food is a big part of lifestyle medicine. And in the lifestyle medicine environment, when we talk about food, we talk about whole food, plant-rich nutrition. We want you to eliminate or get away from the processed food, the oil, the sugar, to decrease or eliminate, if at all possible for you, the animal protein, the dairy, and to embrace food, whole food, yummy food. And what I tell my customer is, as you're learning how to eat more legumes, vegetables, fruits, and grain, learn about the spices and the herbs. Yeah. It's unbelievable how you can turn a very bland dish into a delicacy by using herbs and spices.
Yeah. So, Celine, it's common to hear about wellness. What is it with health and productivity?
Thank you very much, Tina. This is a powerful question. Here is where the engineering is coming into play. Here. Voilà. Here is the logic. We all say employee are our number one asset.
Yes.
Statement. When you look at the research from the Institute for Health and Productivity Management, they say that employees who are in very poor health self-report a 46% loss in productivity.
Yeah.
We also know it's a fact that 80% of the doctor's visits are for chronic diseases. The science also has shown that lifestyle medicine could help you prevent and or reverse chronic diseases. The math is very simple. Healthy employees means high productivity, means an impact on your bottom line, higher profitability. So the link between health and profitability and productivity is very, very clear.
Yes. And if you have an employee that's healthy, they're going to be creating the mindset of other employees that are around them because of the space that they're in. And so that's going to actually have a ripple effect in other employees. It's also going to be great for retention, because happy employees, if you're not happy and you're not healthy, you may think it's because of the environment and the work, but really it's within yourself. And so, it'll help in retention. So I love how you're bringing this all together. So, I know that you have 25 years experience in the corporate world. What are you bringing with you from that field of high tech into your strategy?
A few things, and I'll highlight 3 of them for you.
Okay.
Process engineering. With that, I created what I call culinary remix, where when I work with you, I look at the food that you enjoy today, and I remix it using healthy ingredient to turn it into something that is healthy and tasty. It has to be good, remember. The second thing that I bring on the table is this ability that I've had to work with senior management. When I do all my project, any change in any corporation starts with the CEO, but you need to have a very strong buy-in of middle management.
Yes.
To the last employee. So that navigating between all those layers in the corporate environment, it's something that I have done, and I bring that into my new practice. And the final thing that I bring that is fairly powerful is people change management. At the end of the day, it is about change. And change is a process. I follow in the ADKAR model that calls about awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. And I focus on the ability.
Yeah.
The definition of ability is very powerful. The possession of the skills to act so you can change. And I do that different ways. When it comes to food, you don't do that over the phone. I'll come to you, or you come to me. We'll do the food together. So you get to see it, you get to touch it, you get to smell it, and then you get to taste it and enjoy it.
I'm sure everybody can taste it, smell it, and enjoy it by just listening to you explain it. Love it. And, I was at an event with you, and that's where we first met, and why I just had to have you here on the show, and actually have you here for the entire show, which is very unique because normally we have 3 guests in here. And you did a remix, and it was just a short period of time that you had with us, and did a remix of Ketchup. And I tell you, that whole entire room was like, oh my gosh, this was so good. And so, you have to be naturally a creative and artistic person as well in order to be doing all of this. Yes, Celine?
I would say I love to eat. That is the French part of my education. And I was in the corporate world. I didn't have a lot of time. So I understand that from the people. So I focus on things that could be done quickly.
Yes.
Nobody should spend hours in the kitchen to get something that is healthy, and nobody has to become a French chef to do something that is healthy. So I combine that and the fact that I'm extremely practical in what it is that I do.
Yeah, so great. So before we go to commercial, I just want to ask you one last question. Let's talk for just a couple minutes on your approach.
My approach is very simple. 3 steps. I assess, I educate, and I empower and support. That's it. We can talk more in detail about each one of those steps.
That's a great way to end our segment here. So coming up next on the Money Hour, health and productivity with Celine, Anelone, Brozovich of Dances with Foods. Right here on 1150 AM, KKNW, after this short break.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, August 17th show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell, flying solo. Keelan will be back next week, and we are your local mortgage experts. It is a great day to talk about money, and that's what the show is all about, how to make money, save money, so that you can have a better quality of life for you and your family. And you're hearing right now our show with my guest, Celine. And if you'd like to connect with her, you can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150, or online at themoneyhour.com. And Celine, we were talking about health and wellness and productivity, and so there's a reason why they say wealth or health and wealth are side by side, because you have to be healthy, feel good about yourself to be able to produce at the highest level, correct?
Yes, and nowadays you don't even have a choice. Have you seen the cost of healthcare lately?
Yeah.
This is now the number one reason why people become bankrupt.
Yeah. So you have to really, really keep that health up and keep yourself in the best space possible. So let's talk about when you hear in diet books the concept of the, let's just have a cheat day. What do you think about that cheat day?
I really get annoyed.
Yeah.
Let's be serious. Who are we cheating?
Yeah.
Why the unnecessary guilt? We are all human. If you are 30, you have more than a quarter of a century of eating habits. In my case, I have more than half a century of eating habit. We don't change that within a few seconds. And when you are embracing a lifestyle change, let's be patient, let's be compassionate. I like the approach of Dr. Hinsdale, the creator of the Complete Health Improvement Program. Mm-hmm. His program is realistic and based on compassion. I do not believe in guilt. I do not believe in shaming people. Mm-hmm. I do not believe in rigid and inflexible programs that stress out people. I believe in love and compassion.
Yeah, well said. And it's kind of like, and you know, because you're currently in my coaching program right now, and I've talk about rejoicing in your small successes, and also talk about creating a habit. And when I was listening, when I made this question here, I wasn't really sure what your answer was going to be, but I was pretty confident in what you were going to say, because when you're trying to create a new habit, you can't just take a break, because what happens when you take a break, you will never create that new habit. And that's really what a cheat day is. It's allowing you to just completely take a break from that. Whereas if you just make those best decisions and the small decisions that are manageable, I always talk about, too, crash diets don't work because they're not sustainable. You need to find something that is going to be sustainable, that you enjoy through that process. So great advice there, Celine. What other services do you offer?
So in addition to my corporate offering, I offer one-on-one coaching. Mm-hmm. And the one-on-one coaching is I work with individuals based on where you are at. I will not give you a cookbook. I will not give you some kind of menu. We talk, mm-hmm. we understand, we figure out what do you want to do and what can you do based on your lifestyle. I have customers who've decided they just want to change the breakfast. We work on that. It takes them whatever number of weeks they want to take it mm-hmm. to find a breakfast that they enjoy, that they can continue on eating. And there is one key word in the work that I do, sustainable. Yes. When I'm done with you, whatever you've learned, you're going to keep it for a lifetime. I offer also something that I call a 10-day challenge for people who are plant curious and don't quite know what to eat, what to do. Come, there is a 10-day challenge based on the food that one of the wonderful company in the movement is doing, Plant Pure Nation. And I'll help you also supplement that with, I don't like the word supplement, so erase this.
Yes.
I'll help you make it powerful because I'll teach you how to make some healthy salad dressing, a healthy breakfast, some healthy dessert. So when you go to the 10-day challenge, you are equipped.
Yeah. So I've heard you talk a little bit about healthy dessert, and I've never asked you, but I'm going to ask you right now because I'm sure anybody that's listening wants to know, what is a healthy dessert? I mean, what are the main ingredients of a healthy dessert for us sugar people like me?
Okay. My first replacement for sugar is date. Here is the information on date. If you take 100 grams of date and 100 grams of sugar, Sugar is 377 calories, pure carb, get your kidneys and your system in overdrive. All it gives you is the sweet taste. 100 grams of dates is 277 calories. Already you have the calorie reduction in here. And it's 18% of your daily fiber intake, and it has vitamins and minerals. So when you have that desire for sweet, reach out for the dates. Reach out for some fruits. Reach out for some figs. And yesterday, actually, with one of my customers, we made some brownies with dates.
Okay.
100% chocolate powder and walnuts and a little bit of clove and cinnamon. And then we enjoyed it with some raspberries. It was delicious.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to be excited to see you next time and try one of those.
Okay.
That sounds amazing. So what else can people expect from one-on-one coaching with you?
Personalize.
Yeah.
It's about you. What works for my husband is not going to work for you. That's it.
Yeah. And it's really, and that's what the benefit of one-on-one coaching versus group coaching. Group coaching is nice because it's typically a more affordable process or setting to go in. You do have the collaboration and the support of the people that are in the group, but you're never going to get what you get out of a one-on-one coaching. And that's just exactly what you said, because it's really tailored and specific to exactly where you're at, what your needs are, and the space and the support that you personally need. So very important. So I see that you have your husband here, which it was really great to meet John virtually yesterday, and then to see him here coming into studio. And John, so it's really exciting to have you here as well. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. And so when you told me that he was 70 years old, that's a little shocking, because you definitely, John, do not look like you're 70. And so, John, can you share a little bit about your experience in being a part of what Celine is doing here?
Gladly. 2 years ago, if we met, you wouldn't probably recognize me. I was 60 pounds heavier, and I was very addicted to sugar and salt. Wherever we ate, you'd see me going back for seconds, maybe thirds. And with this program, Lifestyle Medicine, I was able to get off of sugar as an addiction, get off of processed food. And the astounding thing was I worked with my physician specifically so that we could measure blood, sputum, and feces on a 6-month basis every 6 months, because we had 50 biomarkers that we came up with to look at the prevention of all the major chronic diseases.
Okay.
And we went and saw things move from the red to the yellow to the green over the 2-year period. So it's not just about how I look, it's about the lab work.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy to show you the lab work sometime. I know it's quite boring, but it's fascinating to see those things change. The other thing was getting off medication. I'd probably be taking my cholesterol medication before a meal or something like that if we were together before, and now no medication for cholesterol. I had been on it for 25 years. The other thing I would see as a major difference is my energy level.
Yeah.
When you weigh that much more, it's just more work to move around. And now I'm in Pilates classes and specific movement classes at the Y, along with exercise and aerobics, so that it's just a blast to do it. It's a lot of fun, and I am doing it almost every day.
Well, and I wouldn't say that the labs would be boring, because logic is important. We talked about this yesterday, Celine, as well as the story and the emotional side and having that balance. So you've got the proof of this is what it looks like, of what it has done for me. And I'd love to ask you a question on that, John, because I think people think that if you are really addicted to one type of food, that it means you're always going to feel that addiction, but really it's not. If you can get through that hard part and start creating different habits around better foods, you don't really miss the sugar, do you?
No, absolutely. The amazing thing for me was probably 6 months out from the program. It was my taste. I realized my taste buds changed. I'm sure it was a gradual process, but once your taste buds change, you your cravings decrease, and they just keep on decreasing. That's what makes this whole program sustainable.
Yeah.
Is that you're really wired to eat the right things. And I'm basically at a weight that was probably a year after I graduated from high school.
Wow, that is so amazing. At 70 years old, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. And 60 pounds heavier and getting into a next journey in your life as far as age, when those health things are more apt to come up, that just brings in the stress of the what if.
Right.
And that's going to just naturally make it even more likely that you're going to come down, get something. And so it's really great that you're in a position that you can be happy and healthy and maximize the time that you have with your wife because of the space that you're in. And so beautiful. I'm so glad, Celine, that you brought John in today. Thank you so much. So, John, what would you tell people that are thinking about life changes?
I would say go slow and eat food that you really like. I think what Celine made it, I love crunchy food. And she made sure that the first thing that I started on were her crunchy waffles. I hadn't had waffles for 25 years because I'd always been thinking low carbs, high protein and all this, so no carbs. And the fact that I could actually eat a waffle and it was crunchy, I couldn't believe it. And so that helped me really get wired to do things right, because I when you eat the wrong food, you're limited.
Yes.
What you eat is very limited.
Yes.
And you don't realize it. You're just in, habits that go over time. So I would say to people, go slow, eat things you really like, and eat food that loves you back.
Yes, eat what you like or eat what you love and eat what loves you back. That is so great. And that's why the one-on-one personal attention is so important, because just like your husband, John is explaining, it just really had to be unique and specific to him. So I love that. And we are going to stay right here with Celine, but we're going to take it to a break first. And coming up next from the Money Hour, more conversation with Celine right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW after this short break.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome back to the Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, August 17th show. I am your host, Tina Mitchell, flying solo. Keelan will be back next week. We are your local mortgage experts. We bring into studio each week the best of the best in all areas regarding your financing so that you can have a great life with your family. And if you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but we're here to connect you with the guests that we have on the show. You can call in at 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com and continue conversation with Celine of Dances with Foods. Today's show is all about health and productivity and having so much fun with you, Celine. And it fits so perfect. The show is called The Money Hour. And the reason I named it The Money Hour is because I really wanted to bring all experts in that had anything to do with finances so people could live the life that they want to live. Well, you have to be healthy in order to be able to maximize in any of those areas of finance. So just a really important conversation. Now, we were talking about 3 points in your process, and I'd like to start out with assessment. Can you go into a little bit more detail about the assessment stage?
Thank you, Tina. When I walk in the company, the first assessment I do is I look at the environment. I look at your vending machine. What is your vending machine telling you? If that vending machine is loaded with food that are not healthy, it tells me you don't have a culture of well-being. So I'll work with you so that we change those vending machines. For example, we're going to apply one of the principles of customer success where we make good habit convenient and bad habit inconvenient. For the employees who are going to yell and scream that they don't have their soda, we will put it in a place that is very inconvenient.
Yes.
And we will put the good food, the healthy food, very, very convenient for employee. The second part of the assessment is the people assessment, where I will let employees self-report on their health and the level of productivity. We can then benchmark it against the result from the IHPM to see what are your employees telling you about their productivity based on their health. The beauty is, at the end of my program, you can measure it. Employee ABC reported that they were in poor health, and they believed their productivity was at 46% lower. At the end of the program, we should see that needle move.
Yes.
If it didn't move, I was not successful.
Yeah. So let's go to the second point, which is education. What's that look like?
The education is, I'll provide in the company where I'm working some group classes based on products that have shown the result. One of the class that I facilitate, that I teach, is called the Complete Health Improvement Program, CHIP. By the way, this is a program that Providence Regional Medical Center, a $2.3 billion hospital with more than 3,000 employees, they offer that for their employees, and they offer that to patients who are in cardiac rehab. Why do you want to wait to be in cardiac rehab to have your employees go through that? So I use this program to educate, and I also leverage the beautiful work that Plain Pure Nation, Nelson Kimball and his team are doing to educate the employees. But remember, if I give you a book, the best written book on swimming, you can read it all you want, you still don't know how to swim.
Yes.
Comes the third part of my program, the empowerment. Which is where we're going to talk about your food. We're going to play with the food. We're going to taste the food. We're going to experiment it together. So in the group class, I'll do some quick demos. You experience one of them, the ketchup. Yesterday, for example, we created how to make a jam based on dates using different spices. And then when I leave a company, I do the support. I will help them create an employee resource group. Those are the people who are going to facilitate the movement inside the company to ensure that everybody is on the same wavelength. They're going to do some 10-day challenges. They're going to ensure that they have brochures, and they're going to ensure that they support each other. Programs like Alcoholic Anonymous, or I won't even name the other one, they work because of the group support. I call it the tribe support.
Yeah, they're building that community. They've got that camaraderie. They've got that accountability. Sometimes you just want to be better for yourself for someone else. You really need to be better for yourself first. But if a lot of times that helps people to get there, is somebody else is there as well, so they feel that accountability. And so, yes, the groups are so powerful. And I would guess that the majority of people, if you ask them if you could make it convenient and enjoy the food, would they want to know how to have a healthier lifestyle? And I can't see anybody that would say no. It's getting people to see that it can be convenient. And on that note, because I know when we had our conversation, you were talking about prepared food, because I think that's the biggest thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but why people are intentionally eating things that they know they shouldn't eat, when if something else was there, they probably would consider that before stopping at that fast food. It's because of the convenience. So let's talk about the prepared food and what that looks like.
So you have in America less than 25% of the household who cook at home. The other one, they don't. They eat out. The beauty now is more and more companies are jumping in there to provide food that are healthy. One of them, and I work closely with them, is Plain Pure Nation. They offer 20 different entries, whole food plant-based, that are very tasty. I still have to add a little bit spices because I cook. But working with this type of companies where you can now tell people you do not have to be stressed out, you don't have to know how to cook. It's there, it's done. Go and leverage it and buy some salad. You don't have time to chop? All the supermarkets now offer some vegetables that are pre-cut, clean. All you have to do is open a box and eat.
Yes.
we
Can't
should be
more
able to do
difficult than
that. Yeah.
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit more about your 10-day challenge and what that looks like.
Yeah. So the 10-day challenge that I offer is for people who are plant curious. For 10 days, you are going to get your 20 frozen entries from Plant Pure Nation. But before the challenge, I invite them to take a 2-hour class with me where you learn to make one healthy breakfast, 2 salad dressing, 2 dessert, and I strongly encourage the people participating in the 10-day challenge to have their biometrics done so that you can compare the before and after.
Powerful.
The result in 10 days to see that by just dropping the sugar, the processed food, decreasing the animal protein and all, you can see your biomarkers there. And you also are going to see how you feel. I love that concept of the 10-day challenge because people, you eat food that you've selected, and I teach you how to make it healthy because I'll point you to some spices to learn. It's a good way to get started.
So you've got the balance, you've got the facts, which is going to work with the logical side of why you're making a decision, and then you've got the emotional side, which is how you're feeling and how you're looking and all of that, which is a beautiful thing. So family, if you're in a significant other relationship, spouse, I would imagine it has to be really important. It would probably have been more difficult for John to go through this process if you weren't there supporting and living the lifestyle. So if you have a spouse or significant other, would you encourage the importance that they go through this together, or at least you have to definitely have the buy-in, right?
No,
okay.
Let's say when I made the choice that I was going to go whole food plant-based, and I went in 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was how long before John started in?
He started 3 months after me.
Okay.
So I'm the one who cooks at home. So what I did for him is I respected him. He's an adult. And after I have gone through that and figure out my own routine and have it under control, because it could be very stressful, I approached him. I shared with him the data. I invited him kindly. I didn't nag. I didn't push. I let it be his decision. So women or husband out there, if you've chosen to go that route, please respect your spouse who is not ready. And find your tribe somewhere else. And when you get used to it yourself and everything is working, that your spouse, husband or wife, will see the results.
Yes.
And invite them gently. And if you are the cook, make the food about them. If they like the food spicy, make it spicy. If they like it crunchy, make it crunchy. Find how they like that food in such a way that they are happy transitioning with you.
Yeah, great advice. So the one-on-one coaching that you do, what does that plan typically look like as far as time that they're spending with you?
Here is my philosophy. I do not want anybody to spend more than 6 months with me. Because you want your health back, I don't want you to be my residual income. After 6 months, you should be free. Because after 6 months, no more than 6 months, I've seen my best success story was done in 3 months. I work with you to create that foundation of your lifestyle, and then you grow on your own.
Okay. So as we're wrapping up our time here together, Celine, what's something else, one thing that you would like to share with our listeners?
Thank you, Tina. It's been a real pleasure being here and sharing my passion with the people of the Pacific Northwest. If you are an individual listening to me, please know the following. When it comes to your health, it is not the responsibility of your spouse. It is not the responsibility of your doctor. It is your responsibility. Why don't you come, let's talk, and see how you empower yourself. And if you are a corporation between 30 and 1,000 employees, this is my target audience. Boeing, I'm not there for you, I'm sorry.
Not yet.
Not yet. Thank you, I like that. If employees' absenteeism is high, if health and productivity are low, and you really want to improve productivity and profitability, then please implement a program that creates a culture of health and well-being which empowers your employees. It's about empowerment. The definition of power in the Webster Dictionary is the ability to act. You have the power for your health. Thank you.
Well said, Celine. And for the employers out there, show your employers that you care. You care about them, you care about their health, and you care about their family. And this is Tina Mitchell signing off for the day. Your host. I'll be here same place, same time next weekend. Keelan will be back right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. Have a great weekend.